You would never believe it. But what if I told you? Microsoft had a bad week. Blizzard, bad week. Ubisoft, still bad. I can hear myself because I didn't mute. I'm going to do that after this. And then, Avengers. Let's nix that. What else we cutting?
I'm sure there's plenty more.
All right, perfect.
On the Gamers 2 podcast, your weekly roundup of news and commentary related to the video game industry and anything else that might pique our interest.
Peak.
Yep. It's another spectacular week in video game news. Not really, but we'll pretend.
We're still working to a jog. A little bit of fast-paced walking now.
Mm-hmm.
Those speed walkers.
Yep. This is the recession edition.
Are we in that yet? Or are we calm before storming?
Well, we're in the companies gearing up for recession, which is just let me just shed all these workers.
Don't need those anymore.
Yeah. Record profits, get rid of the people.
I got to keep these profits. Can't hire Tony anymore. I don't even pay him enough as it is.
I want anyone that's been over here, been in this company for longer than 10 years, gone.
Man, longer than 3. Take it or leave it. But hey, if you wanted to give those companies some money,
or if you just lost your job and need something to do,
we have solutions. Like number 1, recall for the PC, Xbox, and Switch.
Oh, you got a recall?
You got a recall. There's a colon in the middle of it.
Recall.
We doing yodeling on the mountains?
Total recall.
Which one?
3 boobies.
True. Trip nip. Number 2, definitely not fried chicken for the PC.
I wonder what it tastes like. Chicken?
Fish.
Strong flavors.
And it's only playable on the KFC bucket.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Number 3, a space for the Unbound for PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. Number 4, Colossal Cave for the PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. Number 5, Pathcraft for the Quest 2.
Interesting.
Persona 3 Portable for the PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch. Persona 4 Golden for the Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch. Fire Emblem Engage for the Switch and the Wave 1 DLC. Let's see, 10, Monster Hunter Rise for the PlayStation and Xbox, and Trenches for the PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch.
I wonder what. I hope Trenches is like World War I trenches. Or
I hope that's all it is, except you have to dig them.
okay,
That's
that was the route I was gonna say. Or it's a game where you just dig trenches of all kinds.
Yeah. Whatever you could use a trench for, you're digging it.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yep. Or it's like a
Gotta lay a pipe. You gotta dig that trench. Drainage, dig it.
Or it's like a simulator where you just dig trenches, but with the trenching tool that you ride.
Oh, that's boring.
Yeah. Well, that's
you have to upgrade to that. For the first 30 levels are all hand tools.
Hand tools, just.
And it's not Minecraft where you just dig and then a certain section disappears. It's like mud tires, snow runner, those types of physics. So you take a little bit out and some falls back in because you gotta understand that's gonna happen every time you dig a hole.
And they start you off with the worst one. They just give you a hoe.
A hoe that is plastic,
yeah,
and not the good plastic.
Yeah,
like came out of a kid's sand pail bucket set.
Oh, it's terrible. That's like torture.
And it's only a single hand. You can't actually put 2 on it. And you're in Siberia, told to dig the trench. And that's all you have.
That game would go viral, and people would be like, "It's the best game ever! It's so realistic."
Yes, it's so realistic. Have you even seen the Vietnam level? What? yeah, you got to dig trenches, and then you can put like punji pits halfway through.
Oh God, terrible. How are you feeling? You feeling even, odd?
I'm gonna feel odd.
All right. Damn. There it is, folks.
Let me mix it up on you. Keep it fresh.
I think you were odd last week too.
Shit.
I think you've been odd for the last few weeks.
Somebody fact check him because I don't know. Number 1. It would be nice to go a week without.
Yes,
Did you already Ron Burgundy to me?
Oh my God, this document's gonna be so bad.
Oh boy, it would be nice to go a week without some sort of Activision Blizzard drama. Anyway, China-based publisher NetEase is reportedly disbanding, and I think already has, the team responsible for handling the Blizzard titles in its home market, following the collapse of the company's 2 long-running partnership. Oh God, my dyslexia was terrible right there. Anyway, you figured it out. Sources familiar with the matter told the South China Morning Post that most staff in the department had been either laid off or transferred to other parts of the company. Activision Blizzard has said it asked NetEase to delay the end of the long-running partnership. Oh, that's the exact same sentence twice. This is why we don't edit this.
Yeah, dude.
Because I find these moments to be human. So I'm just going to say that, yeah, they tried to extend the partnership, and NetEase said no. And then I will continue with the next sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Reuters reported Blizzard China posted a statement on Chinese social media platform Weibo in which it said it contacted NetEase with a proposal for an extension. NetEase described the proposal as rude and unreasonable, inappropriate, and commercially illogical. NetEase added that Activision Blizzard is making endless exorbitant demands, taking free rides, and taking all advantages without responsibilities. Also, NetEase has torn down a World of Warcraft statue outside its headquarters in an apparent symbolic gesture aimed at Blizzard. There is no war in Ba Sing Se, so...
Yeah. There's a big fucking statue. I don't know if you saw photos.
Yeah. Yeah, they did that. I know they also served...
Something with Blizzard, they like their big WoW statues.
They also served a green drink, I believe, on the final day, which is apparently a symbolic thing in the culture of, like, somebody being, like, dishonest or something. I don't know. There was some tie to it.
Interesting.
There was a lot of stuff getting blown up about this whole thing and, like, how they basically just said, cool. Do we go into more of this or no?
What, the Tencent thing?
No, well, the Tencent thing's fucking hysterical, but
I forgot to add it in the document, so we'll talk about
Tencent is making a game that looks basically like WoW.
Yeah, it's like a clone. Even the cinematic that released was like almost...
There's a almost shot-for-shot Cataclysm trailer intro with Deathwing on top of Stormwind, and I was like, holy shit, you guys aren't even trying. Whatever, they'll release it in China, nobody can touch anybody in China. They'll just exist. But it would be hysterical if they can't actually pull their own WoW player base over to it, and they're all like, just give me WoW back. Stop this.
They just made WoW, but like better.
Or worse.
Yeah.
Which would be kind of impressive. One of the issues around this now is that it's so ugly of a breakup that apparently NetEase owns the like company or the licenses for publishing it in China.
Okay.
So if Blizzard was to find a new partner, NetEase would either need to relinquish them and give them to the new partner, or the new partner would have to apply to get them, and then that might take who knows how long. If NetEase says, no, we're going to hold on to ours and not give them to you.
That's crazy. That seems like a weird...
Yeah, it could,
a weird hole in the contract there.
It's some weird stuff that some guys that I follow that I think live in China, but they're like full into the China scene of WoW esports and everything as it happens over there. We're talking about it where they're like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, like
so it'll be interesting to see what comes out of this.
Popping the popcorn.
Again, doesn't affect me. I'm just curious.
Well, that's just our general feelings about China's game market.
Oh,
and life.
My motto for life is doesn't affect me, but I'm curious.
Yeah. That's fair. Number 2.
Or it doesn't affect me. I don't give a shit. One of the two.
Might as well get the rest of the ABK news out of the way. Reuters sources said the European Commission is preparing a statement of objections around the ABK Microsoft deal that it will send to Microsoft in a matter of weeks. At this point, it would be bizarre if they didn't do this, considering this is the largest game industry acquisition in history. A law firm specializing in... You're going to love this one. A law firm specializing...
I don't like whenever you preface a story with "you're going to love this one," because that usually means you're going to hate this.
A law firm specializing in class action suits is looking into a potential case against Activision Blizzard for false advertising in Diablo Immortal. The firm would be basing the suit around the Blessing of the Worthy legendary gem, which is available in bundles that can cost more than $100. Apparently, the gem's effect changes between two levels, which makes it far less useful, but the change isn't called out anywheres.
It's fucking shady.
Yeah, it's pretty... They know about it, and they're like, oh, we're going to change it in the next patch to reflect.
Change it now. It's a hot fix. Just get it done. Like, I don't... What? I hate when people are scummy.
I get, from my understanding of it, doing some quick Googling, it's like one of those things that's like, people will buy these like crazy expensive bundles specifically to get that. Because it's
like, one of those bullshit.
It's like broken in some way or whatever.
Yeah. The old, if you can do this, but if you also just spend $2 more, I will give you the broken option.
Insane.
In the membrane. Number 3, Microsoft. Now for the other half of that acquisition. Microsoft announced it was laying off over 10,000 employees due to economic downturn post-COVID-19. Ignore the fact that we're trying to buy Microsoft or buy Blizzard for like $69 billion. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about
anyway. The company's Xbox gaming division won't be exempt from the layoffs, with Bloomberg and others reporting that Bethesda, 343 Industries, and others being affected. I don't know what 343 is doing anyway, so sorry to the people that are losing your jobs. Sources who talked to Bloomberg said that veteran developers who had been working at Xbox for over a decade lost their jobs. In a tweet, Bloomberg's Jason Schreier claims 343 Industries has been hit hard. One publication is claiming about 60 people were let go at 343, which at its peak employed 450 people. Kotaku added that Gears developer, the Coalition, is also losing staff. Which again, what's the Coalition doing anyway?
No idea. That one
Another
I really
Gears?
don't know about.
I mean,
the other funny thing,
343 is doing like the rest of Infinite and whatever else the next project is. But
before you get into that, I thought it was funny. I saw today that the day before they announced these layoffs, Microsoft held a private
earnings call, because that would be fucking funny.
No, well, it's worse. They had one of those. They had one of those private invite-only retreats where they had like who was there?
Oh, so
that how they like hire these. There was someone there that was like some crazy singer.
Yeah, it depends. There's a couple different types of retreats you can have. You can have the invite-only retreats where you are just doing a retreat and you have like an artist show up and you're doing like you have a concert basically that's catered and everybody gets to just kind of hang out and it's an actual like retreat day off vacation. Or you can have the retreat where it's a team building exercise and they bring in all these. We're gonna get everybody together and you're like, I want to blow my brains out. If that's going the way that I think it's going based on what you're saying, is that it was so bad that they did the invites and then you could tell who got laid off because they did not get invited.
No, it was more of like all the upper executives went off and enjoyed themselves, and then the next day,
scheduled the email for 8 a.m. to just fire everybody.
Yeah, basically.
Because I would also love the idea, though. I mean, not to love the idea, but yes, if they did, the executives went off and then sent the email out to everybody to be invited, except all of a sudden they realize Frank doesn't have the invite, and then they go, "Oh no!
Oh wait a second!
Oh no! Oh, we're gonna lose Frank." But who runs the creation engine at that point? Now, we should note that some former 343 industry devs took to Twitter to blame Microsoft for the state of Halo and good start, and the layoff, but most didn't offer any evidence or specific examples. You know what? I'll finish this before I go into it. One former dev who worked on Halo 5 Guardians said, quote, "I'm really tired of Microsoft business practices and practices slowly killing the thing I love. Between the contracting policies they abuse for tax incentives and layoffs in the face of gigantic profits, executive bonuses, they set Halo up for failure." End quote. I don't agree with that.
Was what part?
I agree with... I don't agree with one specific part. I don't know that Microsoft really killed Halo. I don't really know that 343 killed Halo. I think it was a combined effort. I don't think one can technically blame the other.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, you can 100% blame Microsoft for the layoffs.
Yeah,
that part is 100% agreeable. But I don't know that you can really blame one or the other and go.
Yeah,
343 can't point their fingers at Microsoft and go, "You guys killed Halo." When they had what 6 years and 2 to 3 restarts of it.
Mm-hmm. That was kind of like, you can probably tell by the way I wrote the sassiness of it, but like. I was annoyed.
I thought that was your normal sass.
There was a whole slew of devs that were complaining, but they weren't actually saying.
Which there also might be certain things that they can't.
Yeah, but it was
might
like
still be legally bound. But it was
what I included was the most specific.
Gotcha.
The rest was like just basically blanket statements of like, oh, Microsoft killed Halo or Microsoft ruined 343 Industries, which that's fine. But like, and you can say those obviously, but like, tell me something specific, like.
Yeah. And also, I don't know anybody. I don't know. Well, I don't know that many people that rave Halo 5 is a great game either.
That was also one of my first thoughts. Was like, I don't know, bro. Halo 5 Guardians wasn't a great game.
Yeah.
So
because I mean, this is also going back to. You'll notice a trope about how I want certain game franchises to end. They didn't kill Chief. Had they killed Chief in 5, that would have let them do whatever the hell they wanted going forward, and then they didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. And now we're in the weeds. We're like really in the weeds with that story.
Yeah.
That's all right, though.
How do you kill Chief, you ask? Good question. How else would you market a game that you put one of the entire teams as, we must hunt him down? Weird. I don't know. How about you kill him in a 1v1, the same way you do any boss fight in Halo?
Mm-hmm.
He drives a vehicle at you, you overcharge punch the ground, it blows up. It's just like multiplayer, and you hate it. Perfect.
Cowards.
Can't think of a better way for Halo to end. And then you could run Infinite, and you would just be Space Marine number 2.
How do you kill Master Chief? You throw a halo at him.
Better question. How do you kill that which has no life?
You give it life.
Also, to be fair,
then it kills itself.
If they introduced a villain that could actually just throw out an entire Halo ring at somebody, what the fuck do you even do?
Perfect.
They just take all the rings. Oh, can you imagine Shang-Chi, or what is it, Shang-Chi, Legend of the Ten Rings?
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine if somebody was just wearing the Halo rings?
Perfect.
That's the level that like 343 loses their mind and goes to, where I always complain about infinite scaling enemies, and they say, "Oh, that's cute. You've been a wrist accessory on this god the entire time. Johnny Depp's just wearing you walking around."
Be more interesting than anything else they've come up with so far.
Dude, you want to talk about things they can do for a battle pass? And this would probably piss off Halo purists and everything. Go nuts. Go Fortnite levels of Halo. Master Chief has a pirate hat. He literally has a pirate voice pack where he just says, "Arr, the grunt stuck me." Like, who cares?
That's the only way to make it interesting, is for it to be like wacky. I feel like, because like if you rinse and repeat like the same type,
they've rinsed and repeated so much now that you're running out of original thoughts.
Yeah, just get wild, get wacky like Fortnite. Not like, you don't have to be like,
you don't have to make a metaverse, but like,
yeah, but like you do fun
have
things,
fun with it.
Yeah,
it's
fucking warthog races.
Oops, all pistols.
Yep.
Literally, the entire weekend is nothing but pistols, except they all fire with the strength of a sniper.
That'd be cool.
Like, do it as the joke Halo mod that exists, where you actually the guns are reversed or something.
Do fucking
You get the foam finger type thing where you just fire the
What's it
plasma
called?
pistol that just says pew 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 pew. That's it.
Make like lances with the fucking like 4-wheelers or something.
Jousting?
Jousting. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah. Go for it. Why not? That's what Griffball was the great thing for, and all the other like all the community side. Remember all the Halo 3 stuff of like the infection runs and
Yep.
Time to be alive. Anyway, following the layoff news at 343, some rumors began making the rounds about the future of Halo. Apparently, DLC has been canceled, and the studio is working exclusively on seasonal updates for multiplayer. Some are saying that 343 is set to become essentially a franchise coordinator for Halo instead of making the games themselves, which fits with the report from Bloomberg that Halo Infinite director Joseph Staten is leaving 343 Industries to rejoin Xbox Publishing.
That one's, I think, over the past like day or two is, I don't know if it's just getting picked up more and more by media or if it's like
the him leaving one.
That one for sure, and then also that 343 is transitioning to become just a franchise coordinator,
which sucks because I don't know. It sucks and it doesn't suck. It sucks for them because I'm sure they want to make it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't suck because for me from the outside, I would like to see something new come out of Halo, like some new.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to keep making Halo,
it's kind of interesting.
Let somebody go wild. Let Crystal Dynamics get a run at it. Like, I don't know, just let somebody go nuts. Lara Croft is Master Chief. Like,
I had an interesting thought earlier in the week, like halfway through the week, that I actually saw kind of reinforced by some Naughty Dog Last of Us shit we'll end up talking about. But it's almost like it's going towards like the film industry, and like I immediately thought of like the way they make anime, where you have studio houses and they basically bid to do whatever the anime is, and then whoever gets it builds that anime or draws that anime.
Sure, we've seen something similar to that with the early forays from Disney with the Star Wars licensing of.
Yep.
EA won that, and that's how they ended up screwing themselves into a 10-year deal. And now they've
I'm thinking like, think of that on like a micro scale where essentially
exactly.
like, oh, 343 is a franchise coordinator. Like, oh, we want to make this game. All right, these are all the studios that are available.
Who wants it?
Yeah, who can do it? Who has
it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They essentially just get to listen to pitches all day and pick one.
Yep. Interesting.
It could be interesting. I just get worried that you get into a scenario where I don't know that they're the people you want doing that.
Oh, well, I mean,
like, I'd rather them not be, you know what I mean? I'd rather them not be the publishing house. Mm-hmm. In that case, I'd rather them be one of the studios bidding.
Yeah. Time will tell. I mean, I think obviously the title, like in the beginning of the article being like, oh, some people who'd been with Xbox for over 10 years lost their jobs, blah, blah, blah. From a subjective point of view, like, oh, that's definitely sad. But
I mean, 10,000 plus people, like,
yeah,
there's a shit ton of people that just all of a sudden be like, oh, I don't have a job now.
Yeah, especially people who've been there for so long. But like in the case of like 343 Industries, we've seen poor quality and bad performances for a while now. You kind of have to be like, that's a leadership issue.
Yeah.
So,
but that's where, again, did that leadership actually fall into the getting cut out or not?
Yeah.
Or did they just get promoted to Xbox Publishing?
Yep. It's hard to say. We will see.
It's weird when it all looks the same.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. So, like, make him a franchise coordinator, but if you're leaving the same people
the same people in charge, you run into the exact same problem.
Yeah.
Because they'll just pick something that they would have done anyway, and that's not what you need.
Yep.
Again, Microsoft. You just laid off 10,000 people. You have money now, and I am one person. And I will fix. In this pitch, I will do the job of the 10,000.
I'm one person. Give me 2 people's salaries. And I will
give me one person's salary, my own ability to personally pick 3 other people to form my Halo cabinet, and we will run that franchise correctly and listen to your pitches for you.
There you go. Number 4.
Ubisoft, same deal, but your entire fucking library.
Microsoft isn't the only one doing layoffs this week. Unity Technologies is laying off 284 people. The majority of the cuts came from the admin ranks, including IT security and marketing.
Do you know how many people they employ?
I do not, but I do know that IT security is always the best place to cut jobs in.
Oh yeah, it's the first thing you should do. Hey, we want to cut IT security. Oh yeah? Cool. Smart one. Do we want over-under on within the next month when we hear that Unity has a tech problem?
Yeah.
Because something got backdoored or whatever.
Put
or
that
a disgruntled former employee.
Put that one in the memory bank to pull out later. Reporter Jacob Wolf wrote on Twitter that Riot Games is also reducing its workforce across areas like esports, HR, and support. Riot later confirmed that there were 46 layoffs, which I feel like on Riot probably isn't a lot.
No, not in like a total number thing, but Riot has been doing everything it can lately that I've noticed and this is specifically to the scene that I pay attention to for Riot, because their MMO doesn't exist, so I don't care yet. I care about League.
Yeah.
And they have direct control over like the LCS essentially, which is the North American League.
Mm-hmm.
And they've just not brought back casters, and I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing? They shifted the times around to now they're all bullshit, and I'm like, you guys are just actively trying to just not have a competitive league in North America.
I don't know, it's frustrating.
So again, it's why I continue my support of the Asian countries.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be on a losing side.
I mean, maybe they just gave up on it being, they're like, this isn't making money in North America, so let's just give up on it.
I think that's what they're trying to lean into, and then hope within the
which I feel like is a bad idea.
I
Because,
hope for them in the next 2 to 3 years. That's like I hope they're wrong, but I think that's where they're looking is in 2 to 3 years. If we can kind of continue to just put it over here and people forget about it, and then we can say, "Oh, look, the numbers are down."
Yeah,
even though you're playing it at 9 a.m. on Monday, so obviously nobody's watching that.
Which is funny because if you would ask me, I'd say pump it up for 2 to 3 years, and it'll probably be huge by then.
Go absolutely nuts
because it's fun to watch. Genuinely interesting to watch.
Which can anybody else hear the words that are coming out of his mouth right now? This is Matt, who doesn't play video games, who I managed to rope into watching 3, I think, games of League of Legends World Championships group stage, and my man is hooked.
It was good. It was really good. It was fun to watch. Games were the perfect length, I feel like. Like they were, it's a good format. It's a good form factor. And once you like watch, like I'd say you have to give it like one match or one set or however they describe these things.
It depends on the league.
And you're adapted. You can see what's happening. Enough of what's happening.
You won't know intricacies. Or
but
abilities or whatever.
The casters did a great job of like breaking down plays and being like, "This is crazy for this reason."
All Matt wants, and he got it multiple times, was casters to shit on the losing teams.
Yeah, that was fun. Like when it started to turn, they would go nuts and be like, these fucking people suck. It was like, this is great because clearly the match isn't going their way, but also clearly they don't suck. But it's like the whole atmosphere and everything, it's just fantastic. The other thing that about Microsoft laying off a lot of the layoffs, not a lot as far as the 10,000 go, but a lot as far as like the games and tech side that we are interested in, came from their Windows mixed reality team.
Yeah, which is also not surprising.
Yeah, that's got to be on its way out, I would assume.
Other than the fact that they announced that one headset at that point, they haven't really done anything with it.
Yeah. Google has announced it's laying off 12,000 staff, the largest in company history. Google is paying them for the full notification period of 60 days, at least 16 weeks salary and severance, their 2022 bonuses and vacation time, and giving them 6 months of health care alongside access to job placement services and immigration support. So I just want to say, Google, if you ever want to lay me off, I'm available.
You can hire me right now, lay me off tomorrow for that exact same deal.
Yeah.
And seeing how we know this, I'm obviously always wondering, like, once we hear this and we know all that information, how did it go down with the other ones? And I'm sure it wasn't the 10,000 weren't just given this exact, or the 12,000 of Google were apparently given this exact same package for all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I know for a fact there's no way that the 10,000 of Microsoft were given the exact same package across all of them, where they just agreed to do something like this. But that's where it's like, you know what? Comparatively, because I don't know what Microsoft's deal was, but good on you, Google. If this is at least how you're going to do it, at least not to kick them out to just say good luck, see you later.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't live in that tech world in this way, but that seems like a crazy package to be let go with.
Yeah, again, not knowing where the people live or anything else like that, it sounds like it would give you at least half a year to kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty solid amount of time to be able to be like, oh, hey, I worked at Google. What tech giant needs somebody?
Yeah. Yeah. Or you could probably, with that much time, you could retool and go into a whole different.
If you really wanted to, yeah. If you're like, oh, I'm not dealing with this tech shit again. I'm gonna get my forklift certification and just go live in a warehouse.
Yeah. Make some cupcakes. I don't fucking know.
Do 410s or 312s.
Sure.
And just drive a forklift all day and then be like, you know what? I got a weekend off. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah. I go play video games.
Fuck you, Silicon Valley. Number 5. Speaking of Microsoft, Xbox boss Philly Spence, recently accepted the Andrew Yoon Memorial Legend Award at this year's New York Game Awards, an award previously bestowed on the likes of Hideo Kojima, Tim Schafer, and Reggie Fils-Aimé. During his acceptance speech, he said, quote, "We turn away from dividing players and creators and instead towards each other as we advance and amplify joy together. This is the effect of gaming joy," end quote. But fuck my coworkers. I'm getting rid of them.
Yep. Yep. A good portion of that, I read a good portion of his acceptance speech. It's really fucking long. Like, it was crazy long.
Him versus Christopher Judge. Who's got the longer acceptance speech?
Well, his definitely had more substance. And I would almost bet it's longer.
But how many Steam Decks?
Like, I think he actually gave a speech. Like, I don't know.
Oh, he probably did. Yeah. They seeing how it's like a
it was just funny because it was clearly like the speech was clearly designed in such a way to like foster this idea that Microsoft wants to be open and.
Oh yeah, you're gonna do that when you're trying to buy somebody for $69 billion. Do you think he had any Xbox future tech sitting on the shelves behind?
He had the prototype Xbox butt plug wearing it while he was wearing it while he
was he playing chess?
He was doing something.
Never mind. I was hoping you would get that joke. I know somebody listening is going to get the joke, and they're going to go, "I hate you," and it's going to be a good time.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I know that whole joke of the Hans Niemann? No.
Oh yeah, the dude who apparently was cheating by having the fucking.
That was like one of the ridiculous rumors. Yeah, that he had.
Yeah, that one.
That's what I was referencing.
Whatever became of that? Nothing.
A lot of nothing.
Okay.
A lot of words got thrown around, and then
chess is a very intense.
It disappeared again.
Very intense culture in there.
You want to know the culture I kind of want to get into?
Yes, I would love to.
There's 2 different ones, and this is actually there's 3 different ones, and this is all brought on by my screwed up downstairs YouTube algorithm.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, I think we've all been there.
Snooker.
Okay,
I don't understand it.
I don't either.
I know there's like an order of things you gotta do,
mm-hmm.
and like a 147 is like a high break or something. I don't know. I don't fucking understand. And pool's weird, but you watch Ronnie O'Sullivan play for a little while on some YouTube highlights, and you're like, the man's a legend.
Yeah.
Then, also, it's unbelievably serious. They're all like quiet and stuff. I don't know. That kills me. I can't do that.
It's got the whole golf vibe going on.
Yeah, but I don't even know if anybody claps.
There's just like a lot of like soft murmuring when something interesting happens.
Yeah. But it's 50-50 if it was a good murmuring or if like somebody insulted their ex-wife.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, did you just say that? Did you just do that? There's that one. That's lower on the totem pole. Equally low on that totem pole.
I think on totem poles, the lower you are, the more important you are.
I don't understand how they work, so I'm just gonna keep it as more like a pyramid then.
All right.
Which actually that's wrong too, because in theory you need a good foundation. So tier list, starting at C. That's there. The other one that's on that same tier, I don't even know what it's called. This is the best part about this. I saw one YouTube video of this, and there is absolutely no way in hell I'm ever watching this again because it's the most boring sport I've ever seen.
Okay.
I think it was lawn bowling, but inside. It was like bocce, but it wasn't. They had.
I think I've seen this.
They weren't balls, but they were.
They had like a scallop in them or something, right?
Yeah, because you rolled them on their edge.
Mm-hmm.
And you rolled them on their edge to curve, and then they would fall over.
Yep.
And it was kind of like bocce / curling with this whole thing.
Yeah. I know exactly what. Maybe I watched it here.
You might have. We might have watched it downstairs because this is where I saw it. It was down there, and the guy. It was two old people playing with a crowd that was not within. Had to have been only 2 years of them. There was not a youthful person in the crowd.
And it's not good for a sport's future.
And some people were like talking and whatever and just kind of like chilling and, typical like crowd action at any sporting event. You're like, oh, hey, Terry. Yeah. Oh, no, you got to get over here. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay, whatever. And the guy that's going to bowl is pissed, furious that they're talking. Like, he just wants dead silence. And I'm like, what the fuck sport are we playing here? And why is that even a thing? The one I really want to go to, though, but I feel like I need to go to Europe to do it, to truly experience it. Or like some big tournament here where the Europeans show up here. And it basically becomes a European event. Darts.
That just happened recently.
I can't throw darts. To say that I can't throw darts means I've also never tried. But I also don't care to it like the bar. Like, I would 100% get myself like a cork.
I've played
cork one and just sit here and just huck things at the wall.
I've played darts with a good cork dartboard and the good metal darts that are weighted and stuff.
Yeah, the actual ones.
I can understand why it's as popular as it is.
It's satisfying, isn't it?
It's satisfying, and once you start to once you play it enough to where you can actually start like hitting things, it's like I could see it being very addicting.
And that's what I mean. Like I can feel that in the crowd when I watch these videos. And you have the guy screaming who's doing quick maths.
Mm-hmm.
And he's and you're like and the crowd's erupting like there's 47 legs or whatever it is in the match that they have to win. I think it's 1 to 7 maybe. But they're doing that and you're watching beers fly through the crowd in the background. Like Nelson Mandela gave a speech.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
and then like the people who are playing though are usually like they're characters.
Oh yeah,
they're like characters.
They're very eccentric, and some of them are egotistical.
Yeah, they got those looks that they do.
Yeah,
and,
they got the stone
certain like motions and stuff, and it's like Jesus.
Some of them are the most unathletic, physically looking people you've ever seen. But you would never catch Ronaldo able to throw a dart near them.
Yep. It's wild. It's wild sport.
That's where it's like I've debated multiple times ordering an actual cork dartboard and putting it in the garage.
Definitely
and there's a solid chance that summertime, you and me are beers in the garage hucking darts.
That's the funny thing is where I did this was down the road and, I'd open all the garage doors and just start drinking and just darts. And it's just like, it's that like cliche, like, oh, that sounds dumb. It's way more fun than it has any right being.
Yeah. And I'm 110% down to do that at this house.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got to record a podcast. Fuck you. I'm busy trying to hit double 20.
Good shit.
Also because I just play that here. That's easy to get here and play here. I can't get a pool table here.
That's true.
It's a lot more money and a lot more work.
Yeah, and to get a genuine pool table is like they're pretty fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, to get an actual like slate one or whatever. I can actually hang a dartboard, put a line and down somewhere that's the right distance, and be like, "Fuck it, throw things."
Exactly.
I've built my entire sports career at throwing things. I'm pretty good at it, but when it comes to precision, that's the problem. Darts are different than balls. You know what I mean?
Darts and balls.
Darts and balls.
Am I next? What are we on, 6?
2 balls for every dart.
Number 6. The European Parliament voted to adopt a report calling for the European Commission to address several issues in the games industry. The issues in question are...
Happy for you bringing us back on track.
As follows. Harmonized rules across the European Union's single market when providing clear information about games content. They went on a whole spiel about Peggy.
Oh, dude, one of the best intros. If you've never experienced watching a video game trailer and you get a good Peggy 18, then you're not.
Well, I assumed Peggy was adopted across all of the EU. It's not. And that's kind of like what they talk about. They're like, we really should. Systems that help parents understand and control how much money and time their children spend on games. Have the commission analyze the impact of... Go ahead.
It's just helps parents understand and control how much time and money their children spend on games. It's the wording, I guess, is the part that... If you said just systems that help you kind of track it better, fine.
Yeah.
But you as a parent should know very much how much of your money is going to that.
Yeah, I don't understand this. That whole concept of like kids buying things and spending money in games and stuff like that and the parents not knowing is just like crazy to me. It's a crazy concept.
I can't wait till I teach your child how to do that.
It's going to be a battle. It'll be a war because the first time it happens, I'll be like, this is not happening on my watch.
And I'm just going to be like whispering in his ear, like, you want a racing rig like your dad?
It's just going to be, I'm going to be tracking every
aluminum brake.
Every centimeter he moves, I'm going to be tracking him, watching him.
Watching you.
Have the commission analyze the impact of loot boxes and prompts to make in-game purchases. This one is interesting. Investigating whether gold farming can be linked to financial crimes and human rights abuses.
You could not say gold farming, and you could just say investigating whether online activity can be linked. Yeah. Because the answer is yes.
Yes. Call for developers to, quote, avoid designing games that feed addiction, end quote.
Okay, so don't make games. Just want to be real clear about that.
Prioritizing data protection.
Which they'd already do a pretty good job of with the GDP stuff. Or GD. There's another letter in there. I think it's a 4-letter acronym.
I'm lost.
If you visit any like European sites, it's their like protection stuff for the user. The same way that like any site over there that would like cookies or hold any of your personal data.
Yep.
You can request back from them, and GDRP? I don't remember what it's called. That's gonna bug me.
That's gonna be expensive. Samantha, in the middle of this, I was sent by my wife a tweet of someone who was talking about my wife about a Tatooine. What's that French company that makes the really expensive Dutch ovens? Le Creuset? LaCroix? Is it LaCroix? I don't think it's LaCroix.
No, LaCroix is a drink.
Yeah. It's like Le Creuset or something like that.
I don't know.
I
don't buy Dutch ovens.
They apparently made a Tatooine version, and it's like the two sons. Like,
okay, my reference was going to be two sons, but it was going to be that there was a smaller one inside the oven. Instead of it just painted like it was just literally there were physically two.
Anyways, back to the EU. Improving the gender imbalance on the industry's workforce.
Okay.
Making it as easy for the consumers to cancel a subscription as to sign up for
one.
Amen. That one's
preach.
They also proposed the creation of a new annual European Online Video Game Award.
Sure. I don't know what that means, but run it. Let's go.
Yeah. So there you go. There you have it.
All right, let's get through some of this. Number 7, Tom Henderson has some, because seeing how I derailed us. Tom Henderson has some details on the shit show that is Ubisoft. Henderson spoke to 5 current and former Ubisoft employees, and according to them, the reason for the recent cancellations and delays was that the games weren't measuring up when presented to playtesters. Apparently, Ubisoft has an obsession with the Battle Royale format, with one employee saying there were at least a dozen games in the genre in various states of development at one point. That sounds bleak, but according to Henderson, the employees he talked to did have some optimism for the future since Ubisoft has a lot of stuff in the works. And that is the lesson known as throw shit at the wall and see what sticks.
12 Battle Royale games.
And they've already canceled 3 of them. It's amazing.
7, I think, actually.
Well, that I can name.
Project Q. That was which I don't remember. Fuck it, let's just keep going.
Hell yeah.
Lots of rumors this week.
Woo!
The insider known as The Snitch revealed that PlayStation is about to announce third-party games very soon.
Okay.
The Xbox Era podcast host, Nick.
Special?
Oh, that does say special. That's a dumb way of spelling it.
I mean, you're not wrong, but...
revealed that Platinum Games is working with Microsoft again to bring back Scalebound. The new collaboration is still very early.
Over under Scalebound or Fable? Which one's first?
I'm going to go with Fable.
Bold move, gone.
According to a Spanish game site, a Metal Gear Solid remake announcement will come sometime before May 2023, with a late winter, February, or March announcement being most likely. Also, the Raiden voice actor said there will be an announcement in the coming weeks.
Konami's got to do something. Beat a dead horse.
Tom Henderson said that the current forecast for the next mainline Ghost Recon is 2025.
Skull and Bones before or after?
Did you see they did a Skull and Bones dev diary?
Yeah, didn't you see that after they delayed it again, they said they're going to do those now leading up to its launch.
Oh my god.
So you got a year of dev diaries coming because that shit ain't coming out this year.
Tom Henderson said the rumored PS5 detachable disc drive will likely not be compatible with the current digital edition of the console.
That's fucking hysterical.
Yeah, it's terrible.
A USB drive. How hard is this?
I don't fucking know, dude. These companies. A YouTuber is claiming that Starfield has been internally delayed to the second half of 2023. That's totally believable.
I would say, I'm so surprised. Oh, yeah, no, we need Starfield to have its own event, so we can also tell you in the own event. By the way, it got delayed.
Nintendo is reportedly planning to ramp up Switch production in the next fiscal year.
I'm gonna be so pissed with that when that does happen. By the way, not the Switch thing. I chimed in at the wrong time, but the delay of Starfield, because I'm gonna see a bunch of apologists happening on Twitter again that have been so convinced of themselves that it's going to come out on time.
Yeah,
again,
I mean,
then there's us, the realists.
Now I'm like, because Bethesda was one of the developers that was hit with layoffs, I was like, I'm really skeptical of Starfield's condition now.
And we haven't had the Xbox event yet, which they said is coming, and they also specifically said in it, we're not talking about Starfield because it needs its own event. And that, to me, did not go, yay, that went, we're going to tell you a lot of things, and end it with delayed till fall.
Yeah. Or what they will do is not say delayed till fall. They'll say the release date is in fall. But they'll do the backhanded.
Yeah, they won't acknowledge
delay.
It. They won't say the word delay. They'll just be like, coming October 27th, and you'll be like, you delayed it again. No.
No, this is the release date.
Why are you looking at me that way?
Marvel's Avengers, the live service superhero game, is reportedly shutting down imminently, with an official announcement said to be coming as soon as next week.
Man, I couldn't have called that when the game came out like I did. Weird. Number 9, Bruce Straley, game director on Naughty Dog's 2013 action game The Last of Us, is not credited. Why did I say it like that? Is not credited on HBO's recent live-action adaptation of the series. He made his discontent known via an LA Times story this week that described his relationship with Naughty Dog as strained. The Wildflower Interactive founder said the show's lack of acknowledgement for his contributions has him rethinking the debate over unionization in the industry. Quote, it's an argument for unionization that someone who was a part of the co-creation of the world and those characters isn't getting a credit or a nickel for the work they put into it. Maybe we need unions in the video game industry to be able to protect creators, end quote. Australia is also not the only former Naughty Dog leader to entertain the possibility of unionization. Uncharted game director Amy Hennig has said AAA game development is unsustainable and has suggested a model more like the unionized TV and film industries might be a better way forward.
Interesting that people who have left Naughty Dog are saying the same thing.
It is curious. What are those chickens up to?
What are those chickens up to? Oh yeah,
and also,
I forgot.
Unsurprisingly, you and I looking at the outside of it, going, "Yeah,
obviously."
The call is coming from inside the house.
Yeah,
like
that's good. I forgot that The Last of Us show came out this week.
Yeah,
I watched it.
We're not there yet, but yeah, we can do it now if you want.
Oh yeah, there is a mention of. Oh, we'll talk about it then. That's fine. All right, now for the questionable things we didn't write full paragraphs on.
Hell yeah.
They just keep getting longer and longer. Really,
that's how this works.
Some PSVR 2 news. 13 new titles were announced, and the launch lineup was revealed, which includes 35 games coming to the headset before the end of March.
Bold move.
It is a bold move. Chinese game sales were down 10% in 2022, with mobile decreasing 14.4% year on year. That's the first decrease in 20 years.
I bet it continues to go down until at least July.
U.S. game sales in 2022 totaled $57 billion. That figure represents a 5% decline compared to 2021.
That makes sense. I guarantee it goes up this year.
I need like a whiteboard to just start writing these proclamations down.
You want to know why?
Why is that?
What were your two big games last year?
God of War.
Not counting like the perennial contenders of FIFA, Madden, like they always sell. I mean, in your top 5 of all selling always is a Call of Duty, so I'm not counting that either.
Yeah,
but like your two big outliers that aren't year on year favorites.
I mean, the two that come to my head are God of War and Elden Ring.
Right.
Yeah.
What two do you have at the beginning of this year?
Harry
Potter and the next Zelda.
And Zelda. Oh, Zelda is coming out, isn't it?
Yeah, next Zelda, the next Resident Evil.
I mean, there's just more games coming out.
Yeah,
this
the next
year.
Resident Evil
way
is
more
out.
games.
Starfield's supposed to be out this year. Skull and Bone. Hi. You see the jokes they write themselves.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, there's supposed to be a lot more AAA titles coming out this year, so I assume
that, and everyone's claiming they're going to ramp up production on consoles
while also laying off a bunch of people. So it's weird.
Yep.
It's a weird mixed message.
Microsoft plans to incorporate artificial intelligence products from ChatGPT, GPT, I think I said that right.
Yep, you did.
And DALL-E 2 maker OpenAI in all of its products.
DALL-E.
Analysts have lowered sales targets for Krafton's Callisto Protocol. They were expecting cumulative sales of 5 million copies, but are now expecting 2 million. The budget for the game is rumored to be $160 million.
Man, that is a stinker.
There's your unsustainable thing. That
you want to talk about unsustainable? It's hysterical to me that game did as bad as it did. Understanding all the problems around its launch, like the combat and everything else, but like it visually, if you watch it, like it looks great.
Yeah.
But then apparently the gameplay side of it is just terrible, and it leaves you with like a sense of not finished. And
Dead Space comes out soon, right?
Yeah, end of this month.
Mm.
The 27th next week, I think, or the week after, one of the two. The fact that it's not already like 2 million is a goal instead of it already almost pushing 2 million is bad.
Yeah. Yep.
Dead Space is going to be very interesting to watch at this point now.
I wanted Callisto Protocol to be good, and I wanted it to do well.
Same.
But I'm glad that it's happening the way it is, because I'm sick of this whole like, let's just get the game out and we'll fix it later type shit.
Yeah, which is it's always terrible. I'm interested to see what happens with Dead Space now.
Same. They seem to be pumping it up.
No, they're gonna pump it up, but like, are people burned even though it's not the same game? Are people hype because it is a remake? Does it live up to the hype?
I think it'll do. We'd never be able to know, but my thoughts are that it's going to sell better because Callisto did bad.
Which is also potentially an effect, yeah.
Detroit Become Human has sold 8 million units.
Hell yeah.
Stadia is dead as of yesterday. But Google's
Hence the 12,000 people leaving.
But Google's first-party controllers live on. The company announced that it is rolling out a browser-based tool to enable Bluetooth on the controllers.
Good move.
HBO's The Last of Us live-action adaptation pulled in 4.7 million U.S. viewers with its first episode, as reported by Variety, per Nielsen ratings and Warner Bros. Discovery data. The series debut was second to Game of Thrones' House of Dragons. Black Myth Wukong was delayed from 2023 to summer 2024. I don't know if you remember that one. That was that one I went viral.
Of course I remember that one.
Okay. Wukong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pretty game.
Yeah.
You were a monkey.
Yep.
And then a bee.
I forgot about that part.
Yeah.
The Last of Us creator Neil Druckmann spoke about The Last of Us multiplayer in a recent interview with comicbook.com. Quote, "That's the most ambitious project we've ever done, expanding the world even further, continuing to tell a story, but in a multiplayer space," end quote.
I'm not acknowledging him.
Suicide Squad. I was waiting for something. I was like, what's he going to say? Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League looks like it'll dip into the games as a service model. According to VGC, the Battle Pass will consist of of cosmetic items like skins. Additionally, the currency seen in the leaked image are used to unlock new abilities in the skill trees.
I think this game is going to be close to dead on arrival.
I agree. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak sales have surpassed 5 million units worldwide. Monster Hunter World Iceborne sales have exceeded 10 million.
I'm not going to pretend to know what either of those games are other than Monster Hunter.
Sony confirmed that Returnal will be released on PC on February 15th with PC-specific features.
Sorry about your Valentine's Day. I got to return. I know it's the 15th, not the 14th, before somebody jumps down my throat for that.
Valentine's Day is dumb.
Holiday.
A movie adaptation of Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six novel is on the way from John Wick director Chad Stahelski, according to The Hollywood Reporter.
Okay.
Physical copies of The Witcher 3 and PS5 and Series X will be released on January 26th. According to Deadline, Tron Ares is set to move forward at Disney with Jared Leto as its star. This would be the third film in the franchise and a sequel to 2010's Tron Legacy.
I'm so happy I don't care about Tron.
I think Jared Leto in a Tron movie is a terrible idea. Battlefield 24...
What if he just gets lost in the desert and never can actually make it to the set?
Hopefully that is what happens. Battlefield 2042 is returning to its class system in the next major update.
Okay. Is anybody still playing that?
I don't think so, which is, I think, why this is happening. Netflix is going
to... it'll matter.
Netflix is going to start charging for password sharing by the end of March. EA Sports... Go ahead.
Nothing. I don't have it. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, it's just, it's like a thing. Hey.
Yeah, I'm not paying for Netflix now. I don't think you are anymore either, because it was 20-something now?
Cancel it, yeah, it's $20.
I'm so happy I only watched one show with my parents over the holidays for it.
Disney's fucking pushing their luck, too.
Oh, yeah, I know. But all these places are going to get me for 1 month. I'm going to watch every single thing I can and then be like, cool, I'm done.
Yeah, that's essentially like HBO. That's what I'm doing. It's HBO, The Last of Us is going to fall in such a way that I'm going to have to pay for 2 months. But whatever.
HBO worked out for me in the way that they canceled the one show I wanted to watch, so I'm done.
Yeah, they're dead. They're dead to you. EA Sports...
Until they have exactly something else I want to watch.
EA Sports PGA Tour will be released on March 24th for all the next-gen, or current-gen consoles, I should say.
I'm intrigued because it's something we've been talking about forever.
I kind of forgot it existed because they delayed it.
That's true. But we have been talking about, you and I, 1v1 series. So here's 2 problems with
I'll play golf any day.
I know.
Not real golf, but, fake golf.
So here's the problem with this.
Yes.
Two plus things, potentially. One, they might not let us be able to play the way we want to, with like actually doing some weird tournaments or whatever.
That would be annoying.
That'd be a downside. The other problem is the game might suck shit.
Well, that's why we're going to wait till
because it's an EA game.
Yeah.
So, here's the thing. We can wait, but also it's an EA game, which means we can just get EA Play, immediately find out if it's shit, and be like, I didn't buy the game anyway. I don't care.
Yeah.
Have you heard of subscription services and Monopoly?
That's
maximizing your enjoyment to cost factor.
That's the upside.
Have you heard of my friend called Game Pass?
Game Pass.
Game Pass will sell you 7,000 drugs to try for only $1 for the first month. And you can try them all, as many as you have time for.
Oh, I have I subscribed to Game Pass to play High on Life, and then
didn't play High on Life.
I didn't because I was waiting. You're gonna love this. So I wanted to play it on with a controller in my living room, but obviously I'd have to use my PC.
Sure.
And I was like, oh, I'll just bring my PC into the living room.
Always such an easy task for you.
It's very small.
I know.
My PC's small too.
I was going to let you do it, and I wasn't going to do it to you.
And I was waiting. I didn't want to have to like drag my keyboard and mouse in, so I was waiting for. I ordered a trackpad keyboard. You know, like the Logitech. This one was Logitech.
Yeah.
Keyboard with trackpad on the side.
Yeah. I've got some that I use.
Yeah.
Sometimes the trackpads are
like everything I've ordered from Amazon recently. It got lost. It never showed up, so I had to cancel it. And
what the hell?
And that put a
that stopped the High on Life.
Yeah, it stopped the High on Life, and then I didn't reorder the keyboard because I was annoyed because the first
all of this tracks.
I ordered the keyboard at the time because it was on sale, so
Yeah.
it was cheap, and then it was back to normal price at that point, and they wouldn't let me do just a replacement. So I was just like, "Oh, fuck you! I'm just done with you." So
been there. I know that I've heard and seen that exact vibe.
Yeah, and that's the second time they've done this to me in like a month, and like a fairly recently.
But unrelated to that,
yeah.
Blah blah blah. 7 days. You watched Last of Us.
I did.
So, give me the rundown. Is it worth $37 for me to watch it?
Probably not.
Knew that answer. Appreciate you my confirming. Remove it off the chart.
It is interesting, and I'm probably, if they stay the course, I'm sure I will enjoy watching it. It is they did the correct move, I think, where they just essentially they recreated the game as best as they could, and then expanded the story in places to make it more adaptable to television. But it's recreated to the point of like, I'm sure you've seen the shit pop up on Reddit where it's almost like shot for shot identical.
Yeah.
There are some interesting changes they made. You don't get infected by spores. The spores thing doesn't exist.
Okay.
And they
only bites.
That's what it seems like so far. Only bites.
I can't wait till they switch that up in like episode 8, the final one, where all of a sudden they see somebody get hit by a spore and they go, "We didn't think that was possible."
I've heard that there are major changes in like episode 3.
Interesting.
And
Joel's dead.
We're thinking it might actually revolve around Tess.
Interesting.
But the spore changes make sense. You know, you don't want your fucking actors' faces covered up. All that good stuff.
No, actually, never mind.
I'm trying to think of some other changes.
It would actually be fucking hysterical if they did that to Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, I think that was a major contributing factor.
The fact that they got him and they're like, "Hey,
he's probably like,
covered up for Mando. You put this
on." But other than that, it's fine. I mean, the quality is really good. Obviously, the acting's good.
It would also be really cool in that scenario, like if they still left the spores but just minimized it to a sense. And it was like, oh, you have to go do this one thing. Oh, we have this and it's this, and all of a sudden it switches to like Cloverfield style footage, where now you're in the mask from that person, like going through that event instead of like it play out. They
did do some interesting camera work to try to recreate, to give it like, I don't know if
angle or
yes, but no, I don't want to say game angle because that you immediately get bad connotations with that. But they did some camera trickery that you don't really notice, but then when someone points it out, you're like, oh, that's interesting. Where like when they're when the outbreak happens in the beginning and like they get in the truck and they drive away.
Yeah.
Sarah's in the back
Okay.
of the truck and she's like looking around at all the different things and the camera stays at her eye level and they almost do like a 2/3 shot where like you're following where her head's going. But they did it in a way where it was like really organic. But then once it was pointed out to me that it mimicked like playing a video game, I was like, oh, it does. That's kind of fucking cool. So they are doing some interesting things like that, and I've read or I've heard that they did some interesting things with how they shot combat as well. So I'm curious to see how it plays out. But like,
I know this isn't going to happen, but I just need to see Joel die like 7 times before he eventually decides I'm not fighting that clicker.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting to see it recreated in a television show, but I don't think it's worth watching it for you because the things that bother you
would just bother me.
Bother you, which is that the story is literally exactly the same.
Yeah, which is what we knew it was going to be. There's only so many like so many re-releases you can do of Skyrim, and every time somebody goes, man, this game is so good.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it's the same fucking one that came out 10 years ago. Or at this point, 20 years ago.
You ain't wrong. Yeah, ain't wrong. Yeah. But other than Last of Us, I have nothing going on. I'm watching anime, and I finished the autobiography on General Curtis LeMay. I don't know what I'm going to read next. Well, I might try to read that book that I got, the Runways and Race Cars book. Dan Carlin released a new podcast. Don't know if you saw that.
I didn't. Or we listening to it on the way to Boston.
I'm almost all the way through it. It's 5 hours long.
Boston's a 4-hour drive.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you pull the fast one, and it's a kind of a continuation of a really old podcast.
Which one?
Episode 41.
I need the name.
I know.
What the
Thor's Angels.
Okay.
Was the name of the podcast, and it's about essentially all the, I don't know what you call them, like the Celts and the Danes and all the barbarians, I guess. It's like almost a continuation of that. And he says that in the beginning. I was like, fuck, you make me re-listen to another podcast.
Son of a bitch.
But that's it. What do you got going on?
I got the huge, as the kids would say, the Worlds of Warcrafts, and I did get some God of War in today.
Good.
I've also got some Marvel Snap in.
Oh, how's WoW doing with the new expansion and everything? How's that settled in?
It's doing.
Any clear verdicts rising to the top?
Depends on who you ask.
Okay, so it's not like
I have no problems with it for the most part.
It's not.
I can't think like
there's not a universal feelings on it. It's little. I don't want to know if polarizing is.
I don't know that the expansion as a whole is polarizing. I know for a fact there's obviously contentious points about very specific things, whether it's the Mythic Plus affixes or a dungeon thing, or that roles aren't balanced, or something's just not fun for some people, or whatever.
Yeah,
and the entire PvP side that I don't know anything about anyway. I enjoy it from a dungeon standpoint. I haven't stepped foot into the raid other than LFR, which is a joke anyway. I've watched and talked with the guys that are raiding, and I have one of them streaming for me whenever they raid now, so I can just watch on Twitch and do whatever else I'm doing. And at a certain point, I might end up raiding because holy shit, watching them pisses me off.
Yeah,
because I just know how bad some of their players are.
Mm-hmm.
That's a different thing. But no, I mean, there's been people playing. I got other people back that are playing, that have like finally come back to play. Played somewhat. They're not like they're not me with no life. Got the group still doing the group thing. I think there's only 2 things for a fact that I can say I don't like, and one of them is not solvable by Blizzard, I think. And that's that I cannot pug after a certain level of key because I will lose patience with people that should be much better than they are existing in those keys so fast.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't do it. Like we can still finish the dungeon and everything and like not run into that if of an issue. But we have been like our group, if we're not all on, maybe there's 2 of us or something, we'll hop in a random key and try to get it done. And there are just times where you're like, how are either you this bad? Are you this oblivious? Do you even know how to press a defensive? Do you know what your interrupt is? Do you know, like, just like the community somehow is not getting filtered better to let the cream rise to the top type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even at the top. There's obviously the actual good players are about another 600 points above me.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still that level of like, we still can always constantly find somebody that is in something unbelievably higher than what their skill is as we're watching it happen and being like, how did you get the rating you have? Because you are not good enough to be here. So there's that, but I don't know. I don't think Blizzard can fix that. I think there's just a point where I need to say no more randoms, and that's that. And that fixes my problem. Like, after this level, I will not go with randoms unless I see something that seems like too good to be true pop up or whatever.
It's
like,
interesting.
Like one of those people that at 600 points higher than me is like looking for a group, and I somehow managed to get in.
Yeah. It's an interesting concept to think about, though, because, like, not everyone could be carried through everything. So how are all these people?
I mean, there are certain things that you can just pay gold for. I don't think that's all these people. I think what's happening for a lot of things is that the keys aren't tuned correctly across each other. So certain keys early on, Shadow Moon Barrier Grounds, looking at you, were unbelievably easier to time than other ones were. And then that was getting people in their keys to other places, and it was like causing issues.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like, I don't know. It's a really weird problem to have, and one that they can't fix. I think, at least I can't think of a good way for them to fix it that doesn't cause issues in some other way.
Mm-hmm.
And I have another problem. One I will not discuss with you on this because I am not catching heat for that. And that's just like where certain rating things mean.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're at the right level. I think they should be changed. And then the one that I think everybody would universally agree with is the creation catalyst, which is the thing that is supposed to allow us to craft tier pieces that shows up next week for the first time, is too late. It is unbelievably too late. It should have been here much sooner, because if you aren't raiding, you're fucked. So that was the only way to get tier was raid or get it out of your vault in the following week. And if you've been unlucky, which is possible, especially with the new loot system or whatever, like, I am going to be getting 4-piece next week only because of that.
Mm-hmm.
There are some people in my group that either have 2-piece or no piece and can start at least guaranteeing themselves that next week. So it's like, that should have been week 3.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't have affected anything for the Race to World First, and you would have at least allowed your community to get more gear. And you're already only limiting it to 1 charge per week anyway, so just put it at week 3.
Yeah.
And I don't know how this is them just, again, missing the mark on this, but there have been ways around it, obviously. Yes, you could go raid and get tier from LFR to normal to heroic to mythic. You could get lucky and get it out of your vault. Some people got 4-piece week 2. Like, there are the cases. It's just, in my view of this, it should have just been week 3 and the same rules of getting 1 charge, blah, blah, blah. Because then, even if you did nothing else, you would get 4-piece by week 7, which is the week after next.
Mm-hmm.
That's how long it would still have taken you.
Yeah.
So why would now potentially
it's like too late
somebody wait till week 10?
It's like
week 7.
It's too late to be relevant, essentially.
But potentially, you can reach that point where it now becomes cool. I have my tier to go do the next raid when it comes out.
Yeah,
and so it's just like I hope they tune it next season to be earlier and look at some like ways to improve that.
Yeah,
and they've been making a lot of changes. They the 0.5 patch comes out next week, I think, or the week after. There's a 0.5 patch coming out, which is changing a lot of things for like classes and buffs and stuff. So it seems like they're being. Also, I think the holiday screwed them for a lot of things because like they take like a week off and we're kind of left to just going like, oh, get back to work. But obviously, everybody wants to, I look at it from a, I want these things fixed, but also like,
they're people.
Yo, take time off. Like I take time off for my work. It's the same thing. Like I'm not.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's now that they're back in the offices and doing everything, I think we'll see a little bit closer to things. It's just we'll see how it continues going into like an actual next season versus a 0.5 patch. But yeah,
nice,
good times a rolling. And then God of War. I am spoilers for God of War. Spoilers. I am going to find Surtur.
Okay. Did you skip that area?
Yes.
Okay.
So other than doing the get the homie out that you saw, I then said fuck off and left.
All right. So you can skip that area. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could have skipped that area before I got him.
Yeah. Probably.
I just got him because I was like, I'm already here. Might as well. And then I left and went back and did the whole thing, and Shankopotamus happened, and
you're real close. Obviously, I think you probably.
I literally before you got here, I was trying to solve a chest, and then I said "fuck this" and I logged off. I was like, I could have ignored it and just kept going.
Yeah,
but no. I got 2 of the flames lit, not the third one.
Do you know what the third one is?
I know where all 3 of them are.
Okay,
I just don't know how to get to the third one because it's the furthest one away.
Which one is it?
It's the one right before you fight the flame wraith or whatever. You fight the flame wraith right after you would see this chest in Muspelheim. The like normal thing with the just rune for a face, and it's just the.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to remember where it is.
There's one rune. The chest is right there. There's one rune literally basically just above it to the right. And then the other 2, there's a fire pool opposite, just a lava thing on the ground that you can't walk in, opposite the chest. But if you look over that, that's where the other 2 braziers are.
Oh yeah, that was a huge pain in the ass. You gotta tag runes perfectly for.
And I can't figure out. I got the one to the left, but the one to the right, which is the hardest one to get to, I can't figure out where I need to ping pong runes around.
Yeah, I remember that would be a huge pain.
And so I just kind of logged off at that, and then I was like, I could just ignore this, and then I was like, oh, I can't let it beat me.
Yeah. Yep, that one's dumb.
So I might look at it again at some point, or just sacrifice it, because there's also the glorious thing might happen. I boot it up next time and go, oh, bing, bing. All right, cool, there it is.
Yeah.
Moron.
It's a possibility.
It's happened to me more than once. So yeah, gotta go get them, get him to sleep with his wife or whatever, and go cause the big bad.
I think I think after this you can go straight to Asgard.
Yeah, well, I mean the whole point is to go get this so we can go there.
Yeah. So.
But yeah. It's a good game.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I'm also like semi-sad to see it end. But I also do have a lot of other stuff to do in it if I really wanted to.
Yeah. That area you skipped, you could spend like.
Oh, I still have stuff in other areas. I haven't done like any of the Berserker gravestones. Like I still have a lot of flights I can go do if I want to.
Yeah.
But all right, yeah.
Oh, the Berserker gravestones. Fuck.
We'll see you guys in 7 days when Matt has PTSD from Berserker Gravestones. Bye bye.